Welcome to today's video where we are going to be using my TBR prompt jar to choose my August reads. But before we get into that, I need to talk about my July reading month because oh my gosh, what a success! We are not going to be doing a full reading wrap up here. I just want to call out the fact that I have read 18 books in the month of July and there's still a few days left, so we'll see if I sneak one more in there. But I cannot believe I've read that many books. It has been such a long time since I've had that successful of a reading month, because it wasn't just, oh, I read that many books. It was also that they were hit after hit after hit. There was not DNFs, 3-star mid reads. Like, it was full of like 4+ star reads and highly anticipated new releases that did not let me down. Like, I can't get over how successful it was. I did write down my July TBR so I could remind myself the books that I chose and actually read or didn't read. I read 6 of the 8 books. I didn't end up reading The Bridge Kingdom. I ended up donating it actually. I just don't think it's gonna be for me. I'm so in my head about that series. Maybe in a few years I will circle back, but for now, it is off my shelf. And then I also didn't read For the Thrill of It All. Frankly, I kind of forgot it was on the TBR because I had set aside other books and like stacked them together, but because it was in a different place, I didn't stack them with those books and I completely forgot about it. But I did read Ruinous Ends, The Good Parts, Elizabeth of East Hampton, The Once and Future Queen, The Wall, and Chase Me If You Can. And all those books are in reading vlogs, so I will link those down in the description if you want to see more of my in-depth thoughts as I was reading them. I also took the time to update my Goodreads like no other. I feel so bad for anyone that follows me because like their feed was probably full of like 40 book reviews. It was insane, but I was on a roll and I wanted to catch up and just do it. So here I am, finally caught up with Goodreads reviews. So with that, let's hop into my August TBR. You guys know the drill. We're going to be choosing 8 books to read in the month. First prompt. A book you think you'll binge read. Say less. Okay, I have my mini selection. Let's go through them. First up is Extracurricular by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I am obsessed with this cover and I told myself that I wanted to read this in August as like a back to school kind of situation because it's an academic setting. But I am a little nervous about this plot. It says, when a former pop star enrolls in college, the last thing she expects is A+ chemistry with her psychology professor in this sexy and tender romance. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be good or bad, and so I'm a little nervous, but I feel like August is the perfect time to read it. I am nothing without my fantasy reads, so we have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, and this is one that I have heard nothing but amazing things, and that the audiobooks are to die for and so bingeable. So I feel like, although I've been kind of procrastinating reading this, I think if I started it, I would fly through it. They don't really have a synopsis of the synopsis, but it is dealing with a 17-year-old who has spent years fighting for survival in a notorious death prison. And it's something to do with like trials or a game, and she's helping protect the queen. Like, it's kind of this whole thing. So I don't know, but it could be a really good one. And then the last one I have is Wild Goose Chase by Sarah Adler. I love this cover as well. It just came out. It's an antique dealer and his inconveniently resistible new colleague must contend with an illicit stuffed goose in their sizzling attraction. It seems so silly goose. You know what I mean? It just seems so silly and so fun and cute, and it's such a short read. I feel like if I started this, I wouldn't put it down. Why does it feel like I just need to do a reading vlog with these 3 books and it's literally called reading books that I believe I'm going to binge read? Because I genuinely think I would fly through all of these and they sound so good. I think I'm gonna choose A Wild Goose Chase because I know that I will fly through this book, and I think if I can't find prompts for those other 2, I wouldn't be surprised if I just end up reading them anyways. Prompt number 2. A book over 100 years old? Babe. Oh boy. Okay. I'll be back. I just took a look at all the classics that are above frame here, and I found the perfect read. We're going to be reading for the first time Pride and Prejudice. I'm so obsessed with this edition, and I've been really wanting to read this recently, especially rewatching the 2005 film adaptation recently. I'm just so obsessed with this story, and I feel like thinking about those characters and that cast in this, I think I'd really enjoy it. So, Pride and Prejudice. On to book number 3. A 5-star prediction. Shut up. Yes. Okay. Okay. I can do this. We have 3 options here that I have been highly anticipating but equally scared to read, so I feel like these are going to be perfect. First up, we have Theo of Golden. This book has been on my radar for months. Every time I went to a bookstore, I'd always pick it up and be like, am I going to buy it today? But finally, in my last bookstore trip, I got it. And I cannot wait to read it. I feel like this is just going to be such a magical story. It is following Theo, who is going to this small town. He goes to this cafe and it's full of these portraits of the people of Golden. And he decides one by one, he is going to return these portraits to their rightful owner, effectively the person in the portrait. And so by doing that, he's going to all their homes and he's having conversations with them and just like learning about them and life and their story. And it's probably such a beautiful read. Such a beautiful read. So I really, really, really want to read this. Then we have An Infinite Love Story. This is technically an ARC copy, but it came out at the beginning of July, and I have been thinking about this nonstop, especially as an atmosphere lover. I love a good space book, and the fact that we are thrown back into the space race time era, I believe. But it says that when Joe Mitchell launches into space, the world is watching, and it's essentially this astronaut that is lost in space. His wife relives their epic love as she attempts to unravel what truly happened to him. I feel like this is just gonna be like heart-wrenching, but also such an incredible story, so I really want to read it. And lastly, we have The Names. This has been on my radar for about 6 months now. I think it was Sarah Caroli's like first 5-star of 2026 reading vlog that I was introduced to this, and it's been on my mind ever since, but I didn't want to buy it full price in hardcover. Then when it came out in paperback, I was like, what if I don't like it? But I found it at a used bookstore for $6, and so we snagged it real quick. This sounds so interesting, and it's something I think I could give 5 stars because of how I think of my name and why it was picked and my family dynamics and all of that. This book calls to me. It calls to me so much that when I told my mom about it, she went out and bought the book. My mom is not a reader pop, so if that says anything, wow. It says, spanning 35 years, what follows are 3 alternate and alternating versions of their lives shaped by Cora's last-minute choice of name. That's just like a little sentence of the synopsis. That's kind of what we're getting. We have 3 amazing choices here, and I just have no idea which one. Like, they're all intimidating in different ways. So, like, I don't know. They're also different as well. I think I'm gonna go with The Names. It's been on my radar the longest, and to think that I finally own it, I feel like I need to give it a read. On to book number 4. A book under 250 pages. Don't really own much of that. Quite literally nothing on my physical TBR is about that right now, so we will just have to choose a new prompt. I saw it! Milo Picks! You guys, Milo is right here right now. Okay, I'm gonna choose 2 books, and I guess what, like you put a treat on it or something and see which one he goes for? Okay, let me pick some books and we'll go from there. You guys have to look at him right now though. Are you kidding? Why do you get to pick my next read? Well, he did not love that I had to move him off of me in order to pick our 2 books, but we have Heat of the Everflame. The final book in this saga comes out in September, so I did want to read it in August, preferably towards the end. And then I also have Worthy of Fate by A.N. Cottle. I just had the second book. Come here, bud. I just had the second book that was released, and I really, really, really want to read it, but obviously you gotta read book 1 first. So we are gonna have, how do I find this? Okay. Oh, and he's down for the count. And we're gonna have these treats that I'm putting on top of it. Okay. You crushed it. Wait, no, it's the fact that he actually never went for the second treat. You're such a weirdo. Good job, bud. It's the way he like knew I really needed to read this one. So, thank you so much. On to book number 5. Oh. An animal on the cover. Hi. Hello. I was hoping to bring back a few different options, but I really didn't have that many, and of the additional ones, other than the one I picked, I just felt like I really didn't want to read them right now. So we're going with Stephen King, Fairy Tale. There is like a little wolf here circling at the center. Scared to read this, not because like Stephen King kind of scared, more just it's been on my shelf forever and I really want to get to it, but I think it's just a little intimidating. It'll be my second Stephen King novel. This is not like I feel like his other ones that are more scary. I think this is more general fiction leaning. I read Billy Summers and I loved it. I had a really good time with it. That's another one of his like general fiction leaning novels. So I'm very curious about this one, but also scared. Says Stephen King goes into the deepest well of his imagination in this spellbinding novel about a boy who inherits the key to a parallel world where good and evil are at war, and the stakes could not be higher for that world or ours. On to book number 6. A book you think will make you cry. Lovely. I'm going to pull back out these two books because I genuinely think both of them will make me cry. I want to read this one because it just came out. I received an ARC of it. I'd love to get to it sooner than later. This one I've been eyeing for so long that it's like, oh, now that I finally own it, I want to read it. But both I think would make me cry in different ways. This in like a love, romantic, heart-wrenching way, and this in just like the beautiful ways of life and being human and connecting with other humans. I think I'm gonna go with Theo of Golden, a story of giving and receiving, of seeing and being seen. Theo of Golden is a beautifully crafted novel about the power of creative generosity, the importance of wonder to a purposeful life, and the invisible threads of kindness that bind us to one another. Like, I just want to cry thinking about that, so Theo of Golden. On to book number 7. A genre you don't typically read. I feel like fairy tale could have been good for that, but okay, I feel like I definitely have a few on here, so let me get some options. We have 3 options here, and they're all not only like out of my comfort zone, but also ones I've been procrastinating on for quite a while. We have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I've seen nothing but amazing things. I've yet to watch the show, movie, whatever the adaptation is. I haven't watched it, and I don't know if it's really because like I wanted to read the book first or just is something I don't really know about. It says Dark Matter is a mind-bending thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. I mean, thinking about this makes me think of like just a Black Mirror essence, and I really love Black Mirror. So next we have Dune, which is equally scary, equally terrifying. I've yet to watch any of the movies, not because I don't want to, I'm just not a huge movie person. Like I go through waves where I want to watch movies nonstop, and then I go months at a time where like I just don't want to watch a movie. But I think this is one that I really would like to read the book ahead of the movies. But I don't know if that's like the right call because I feel like I've seen some mixed opinions. So if you've done both, if you've read the books and watched the movies, what do you recommend? Because that's something outside of choosing this for the TBR, like, what should I be doing with this book? And lastly, we have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is not necessarily like a genre that I'm unfamiliar with or don't read a ton of, whatever, but it's more like this book, specifically this series, saga, whatever, specifically, Robin Hobb, specifically, I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards this though because I have seen good things overall about just kind of like all the books. Not necessarily book 1, but you kind of got to read book 1 before you head into anything else, you know? So I'm thinking that this could be such like a cozy read and a good transition into fall to where I could read more of them. Wait, you guys. I'm supposed to be rereading Throne of Glass and then ACOTAR. Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It just hit me that, like, I want to reread both of those series and books so far out, whatever, like, before the next release. I want to reread Throne of Glass simply because it's still fresh-ish in my head So if I want to do a reread, I'd rather do it now and then reread ACOTAR, obviously ahead of the new book. That's not to do with this prompt. Okay, I think I'm gonna choose Assassin's Apprentice because I think this is gonna be a good transition to where if I like this general writing world, whatever, like I could continue this into fall and just like look at it. It gives fall. So we gotta start now. We have our final book. Can't wait to get rid of all these prompts so I can put all of the ones I've done back in here. A book you've been avoiding. Why are these like all the same? You know what I mean? Obviously, we could go with Dune or Dark Matter. They're both not typical genres and ones I've been avoiding. I've been avoiding Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, but that's not gonna happen, I think, until the last Daisy book. So who knows when that will happen. I feel like I kind of want to go with Dune, and I'm just gonna hope that you guys comment if I should watch the movie first, like movie 1 first, or read it first, because I can procrastinate this to the end of August, it doesn't matter. But I am interested to finally read this and just see kind of like what all the hype is about this book, because outside of the movie, I know that this is a well-loved series? Trilogy? I can't remember, but what a good flop. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. And suddenly I'm scared for the month of August because what do you mean? Why does this stack look absolutely massive? Let's do a quick recap of all the books I chose for my August TBR. Fairy Tale by Stephen King, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, The O of Golden by Alan Levi, Heat of the Everflame by Penn Cole, Wild Goose Chase by Sarah Adler, Dune by Frank Herbert, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and The Names by Florence Knapp. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, if they need to be prioritized in any way, if you want to see them in any reading vlogs. I feel like this month is stacked with some solid reads, and I can't wait to read them. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.